Hello, 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 everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining us for another week of Heat Press Nation Live. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining in on the fun. Today, I'm going to be sharing my top 3 picks for Valentine's Day gifts. And you're like, but Jared, it's only, what are we in? It's like this January, 12th or something? I don't even remember. It's barely like the second week of January. But here's why it's important to get a head start on the holidays, and this should set a precedent for your holiday activities this year, is you gotta figure out what you're gonna sell, you gotta order your blanks, and then you gotta advertise to your customers to let them know that, hey, I'm selling these, we're carrying these for Valentine's Day. So for all of us, all of you small business owners, even if you're just making stuff for friends and family, you definitely have to give yourself a head start on what you're doing for the holidays. So yeah, we're barely in January. Happy 2021, we made it. And yeah, we're gonna be doing some Valentine's Day stuff. Now, really quick, I have the comments here. So do me a favor, tag a friend, invite somebody to watch, especially if you have, your heat press buddies, your vinyl cutting buddies, your sublimation buddies. Be sure to tag them or just share this video on your timeline so we can get as many people in here as possible. So good to see everybody. Let's see who's tuning in. Hello, Casey Dunson says, hello, watching with me. Evelyn saying hi from South Carolina. Greetings. And then we got Stevie Steve, repping NYC, holding it down. Hopefully staying safe out there, buddy. Vet says hi. Daly says, hello from Florida. Hello, Florida. California here. The two sunshine states representing. Cool, cool. And everybody's watching here. We got Alex from Modesto. Very, very cool. So good to have everybody here. All right, so I'm just gonna get right into it. Lately, we've been getting some comments and they're like, too much talking. And yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna confess, I do way too much talking and not enough heat pressing. So that's changing this week. We're getting right into it. My first suggestion for today are these awesome Sublimation blank keychains. Yes, you see them right there. These are Sublimation keychains, and they are appropriately heart-shaped. Now, they look a little plain because I haven't put anything on them yet, but we're going to change that right now, and you're about to see the process live here on Heat Press Nation Live. Again, hopping right into it. So, the only thing you're not going to see here today is the print. I printed this on my Sawgrass SG500, and I'm going to show you how we do this. So, the print is the only thing you didn't see today. This took about a whole... not counting like the design time to put everything onto my template, but after I hit the click, after I clicked the print button, this was ready in about 30 to 60 seconds. I don't know. It was really, really quick. So here's what we're gonna do. You can see here the way I have my template set up because I'm gonna be pressing both sides at once. So what I did is I have the front and the back, and then for my second one I have the front and the back. So what I'm gonna do is, and you're gonna see all this in real time. So. No camera tricks. It's not like on the cooking shows. On the cooking shows, they're like, all right, and then you're gonna put your roast in for 4 hours, and then they put the roast in, and then like on the bottom shelf they had one that was already cooking for 4. No, we don't do that here. You guys are seeing everything again except the print in real time. So here's a trick to press both sides at once. So you definitely want to be near a light source. I got these studio lights here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold it up so that way the light kind of shines through, because I need to line the edges with the edges. So this corner, these two corners up here need to perfectly line up with these two corners down here. So the easiest way that I found to do this is to just hold it up to a light, and then as I line them up, I can kind of see through the papers and I can tell that everything is perfectly lined up. And then I'm just gonna pinch it right there. So now you'll see that when this one opens and closes, that the images perfectly line up over each other. Now this is very important because when I lay my blank in there, it's gonna close over. So if it's lined up for the bottom one, I need the top image to be lined up too, and that's how you press both sides. So since I'm doing 2 ornaments today, I'm just gonna do this really quick. And yes, again, we are doing this in real time, so you can see exactly how long it takes. It actually, I'm usually a little faster than whatever you see on camera because I'm talking through my process here. And I do talk a lot. And so it does take a little bit longer. So I'm gonna come around and we're ready to press these. We're like 2 minutes into today's today's live stream and we're already pressing. So I'm gonna come around and we're gonna press. Okay, so I believe my pal Alex, shout out to Alex, has me on camera too. One thing, these ones, they have a little bit of lint on them. You always wanna have like a clean, like a microfiber towel or something like that to wipe off your blanks. Make sure there's no lint on them or anything. Lint is a nightmare for these items. And sorry, one thing I did forget to do is lay down my protective parchment paper. So, grab that really quick here. And again, you just want a sheet and to protect your ears. I'm gonna cut it nice and neat. So what we do is we lay down a protective sheet of parchment paper on the bottom. And if you were a minion, you would say, bottom. You know, they laugh at the word bottom. I don't know why, that's funny to me. And I got a second sheet, and that's gonna go on top. Okay. So this is my first graphic, right? And so now what I'm gonna do is I sized my template, and we have a whole webinar on how to size templates for anything in Photoshop, how to create your own templates and how to size them properly. So I created this in Photoshop, and what we do is we do this thing called bleed, and you'll probably see it, actually it's probably easier explained with this template because it's darker and you could see it better. So what I did was I added an extra 1/8 inch on all sides. So this heart, I want to say it measures about, I think it's 2.5 by 2 1/4, something like that. So I added an extra 1/4 inch on each dimension, which gives me, and I only know this from experience, not because I'm good at math, because I'm not. It gives me an extra 1/8 inch bleed on all sides. And when I say bleed, I mean a little bit of extra. So you see how the print extends a little bit beyond the edge of the actual transfer, of the actual blank. That's intentional. That's so we get full edge to edge. So the entire face of my blank is gonna get sublimated really nice. And then you see, oh, this beautiful couple, and you'll see the transfer right now. And so the reason why, and now you kind of get that, the reason why I needed these two images to line up perfectly is so when I fold it over and lay it down, it's gonna line up perfectly. And then what I like to do just to make sure is I'll kind of run my finger over the edge of the blank and make a little crease. And that just, it doesn't really, you can't really tell on camera, but I can totally see it here. I can see that this transfer, the top transfer, is lined up properly on my blank. It's that easy. So now I'm gonna do it with the other one. I don't know how I got so much lint on these blanks. What you don't see me probably doing on camera right now is wiping them off. And actually, you probably shouldn't even use your shirt because your shirt will just put more lint on it, but can't seem to find my microfiber cloth. I highly recommend microfiber cloths. There we go, that'll work. I highly recommend microfiber cloths because they get all the lint off. And they do a pretty good job of it. Lint, you don't want it on your transfers because then what happens is when you're sublimating, remember, sublimation ink turns into a gas dye. And so what happens is the lint actually grabs onto that sublimation ink, and then it keeps it'll imprint. You'll have imprints of lint on your transfer. No joke. It looks so ridiculous. Not cute at all. So then what I'm gonna do now is, they've both been folded over. You notice I'm not using any heat tape for these. Don't worry, it's gonna come out gorgeous. What I am doing is I'm sliding them in carefully because I don't want anything to move. I've already folded, I've already positioned it. So what I don't want to do is if I close it in and I like jar it, I don't want that to like slide around. I need it to stay absolutely still where I left it. Okay, I got 60 seconds on the clock. I'm at 385 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is the brand new pink Craft Pro. Bum, bum, bum. It's a 13 by 9 inch pink Craft Pro. Okay, this is actually not one of the 3 things, but honestly, this is a super cool Valentine's Day gift. If your significant other or just someone that you loved, your loved one, your friend, your whoever, if you see them pressing things with an iron, please hook them up. It's so much easier to do it with a heat press. And this 13-inch by 9-inch HPN Craft Pro. This is the pink model, newly released. We also have it available in mint green and the original, which is kind of more of a gray. Still pretty cool, but the gray is like neutral, so it'll look good anywhere. But yeah, got about 15 seconds left here, and let's see some comments. Actually, I think I got some time for some comments. Evelyn's saying, oh, she's replying to someone else's question. She's saying SG500 and best is SG1000. Best to go with the bigger print if you have the budget. Totally agree. Okay, that's time. I'm gonna open this carefully. Again, I don't want anything to shift. And if you've seen me do sublimation transfers before, you know how much I love my heat tape because it helps prevent ghosting. So what I am doing here is I'm gonna be very careful. Gonna remove that top layer, and you're seeing all this in real time, folks. So I'll usually give it a second, not too long, and then what I'll do is I'll just pick it up and it'll just fall out. And looking at this, I probably could use a little bit of additional time on the back side. Front side came out gorgeous. Let's see how this one came out. There we go. So check these out. I'll hold them up in a second, and we can see exactly how these came out. But I don't know if you guys can see that on camera. Yeah, I mean, they're not that huge. So I'm gonna let them cool down for a second, just so I can handle them. And I'll show them to you, but that's it. They're done. And what's cool about these keychains is that, they're kind of subtle. Like, it's not like, cause like, you know, you can, and especially for, if you're gifting to a guy, you know, dudes in general, we don't really want a picture like, you know, a big 11 by 17 print on a t-shirt. Of us, you know, your favorite couple's picture of us. So, you know, keychains are a little bit more subtle, and then it lets everybody, when your man goes out, it lets everybody know that, hey, you know, you're showing up on his keychain. Now, here's what I probably should have added just a little bit more time. I don't think, okay, this one, because there was a lot of dark, could have used a little bit more time, and this is where you're gonna adjust your settings depending on the print, and this is kind of hot. So check that out. I'm gonna show you the good side first. Are these coming out, Alex? Yeah, there we go. I'll show you this one first. The top side looks beautiful. This couple. I always have trouble centering it when I'm looking at the monitor. You're focusing. Okay, cool. Sorry, I thought it was autofocus. There we go. That's couple one. And couple two, right there. Very cute. Now on the back of this one. Now here's where I probably could have added a little bit of time. It says, I lava you, get it? And it's some lava. So these are double-sided. If you're gonna go double-sided, I did 60 seconds. You're probably gonna wanna go for closer to 90 on these puppies, or you could press them one side at a time. Again, this is live, and yeah, no fooling you. This print could have come out a little bit darker. A little bit more vibrant if I would add a little bit more time. So that's on me. But check it out. I lava you. So cute. Anyways, so these are my #1 picks. These heart keychains. They're subtle. They're really cool. And I think they make great gifts. So now we're going to go to #2. And for that, I'm going to come back around. And a little bird just told me that we hit 100. We dipped down to 89, but for a second there, we had gotten up to 100 live viewers on Facebook. And you know what that means? Whenever we get to 100, we got to give some stuff away. So do me a favor, tag a friend in the comments below, and then at the end of the week, usually around what do we do, Alex? We do Friday? Friday we draw a winner. Sound good? Alex, by the way, shout out to Alex. He's my live producer here. He is here in the studio with me. And so if you see me talking to Alex, it's not my imaginary friend. I promise you, there's a real life human standing right over there. So, hey, we hit 100. That means we got to give something away. So do me a favor, tag a friend in the comments below. And on Friday, we are going to randomly select one person to win a $50 Heat Press Nation gift card. And $50, it's going to buy you a lot of blank keychains, and then it's going to buy you lots of other cool stuff too, like vinyl. You could put it towards a heat press, like this really nice Craft Pro, or as you're about to see, and here's so I don't trip the circuit, turn one off, turn the other one on. as you're about to see in a minute, our HPN mug press. Also makes a great gift, but what I'm talking about here is a really dope stainless steel insulated travel mug. Now, and by the way, this is number two. Number two. I really like these. I gave one of these as a gift to my brother. I put some cool stuff on it for Christmas, and he loved it. Now, here's why these are really cool. Coffee mugs, yes, duh. Do I have some here? Yes, I'm like surrounded by coffee mugs all day. Like, we live and breathe coffee mugs here at Heat Press Nation. Here's one I made for Mother's Day 2019. All right, very, very cool. So we're no strangers to coffee mugs. Here at Heat Press Nation, we love them. But if you kind of have already done the coffee mug thing and you want to expand into something newer and cooler, these right here. Now, I know a lot of us are still working at home, but a lot of us are back to commuting to work. And you know, you want to send your special someone off every morning and you want their drink to stay nice and warm, or in the summer, stay nice and cold. These stainless steel insulated cups are incredible. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how easy it is to customize them. So my time is set to 385 degrees, and I'm actually going to up this puppy to 75 seconds. See, I've already made the mistake once of too little time today. So I'm going to not make that mistake again. And again, the only thing you're missing out on today is the print. I did print these right in the next room on my SG500. It's a Sawgrass SG500 sublimation printer. And I printed this on there. It's the similar graphic as what's on one of these, but we're gonna show you how it looks on this stainless steel travel mug. So let's, let me show you how we do it. Now, you don't have to trim super duper close to the image. You'll see that I'm giving myself a nice little space there, but it does help if you trim in a straight line. So actually, let me slow down for a second. And this just helps when you're lining up your graphic. It just helps keep things centered. Helps to keep things centered. And there we go. Again, the cool thing about sublimation is that the white part of the paper does not transfer onto the mug. The only thing that does transfer is the ink itself, which is why sublimation is so cool. If you're still new to sublimation, I should say, we have lots of great videos on our YouTube channel. So if you're watching us on YouTube, big shout out to you. Thanks so much for joining us. And yeah, we have lots of great tutorials, how to do these in depth, how to use this, how to make this, and all that other fun stuff. Okay, so I trimmed down my sublimation print. And so here's what I'm gonna do. I have my trusty roll of heat tape. And don't worry, if your heat tape is blue or like orange, it's cool, it's all the same. I'm gonna get a little strip of heat tape. And here's something cool that you could do when you're pressing mugs. The hardest part to me of pressing the mug is when it comes out of the mug press, you gotta take the transfer off. Oh, that just means that we're at temperature? Thank you, mug press. I acknowledge you. All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna get the end of your strip of tape, you're gonna fold it back over, and you're gonna make a little handle, all right? Trust me, this is gonna save you lots of time, and it makes peeling off the transfer so much easier. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm going to just put some tape on one end of my transfer. Time for the other end, and you could do it on both ends or just one. It's up to you. I usually do it on both ends just for the heck of it. And again, what I did was I got a piece of tape and I just folded it back over on itself. So I have a little tab, I have a little handle for when I'm ready to peel the, oops, I messed that one up. For when I'm ready to peel the transfer off. Okay, let's try it one more time. Again, I promise you, I'm faster at this when I'm not on camera. Trying to talk my way through everything. Okay, so here we go. And before you, oh my gosh, before you put this in your mug press, please remove the plastic lid, and then it might come with some sort of instruction or warning sheet inside. Make sure you pull that out. I already pulled the one out of this one. The bottom plastic is not going to be, shouldn't be, I should say, touching any hot part of the mug. So that's gonna be safe. However, some of the shorter ones will have a screw off bottom. So you just wanna keep in mind, double check and make sure that your blank does or does not have that. If it's a shorter one, you may have to unscrew the bottom plastic so it doesn't melt in the heat press. But again, this is, I want to say this is like a 16 or 17 ounce mug. This is one of the larger ones, so it's gonna be just fine. All right, here's how I mean, everybody, you're gonna develop your own style of centering your transfers. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this pretty close to the top, kind of grab it like this, and then what I do is I'll do a rough eyeball of like where I feel it should be, right? You don't want to get your prints too close to the handle. So mine are usually about like and everybody's thumbs are different width. Mine's are usually about a thumb's width off the handle. And so once I have like it roughly placed where I want it, I'll kind of get a little closer and fine tune it. Make sure that it's, you know, not too far below the top. And then before I tape it in place, I'll make sure that each edge is equidistant or equally distant from the handle. So this looks pretty good to me. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to tape down one side, right? And then I'm going to just pull it really tight across the surface and I make sure not to shift it. Pull it really tight across the surface and then tape down the other end. What I don't want to do is have any bubbles or any looseness of the transfer over the surface of the mug. And once it's taped down, you can kind of give it another look over, make sure everything's nice. I'm actually going to, just to be certain, I'm going to realign this, and that's another thing, by the way. If let's say you try to line it up. Where am I? Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Let's say you try to line it up and it's not quite lined up. Don't worry. Just peel it off and try it again. There's like a famous dad saying. I feel like every dad has told their kids this: measure twice and cut once. Abe, it's true. Measure twice and heat press once. And you'll get the hang of it. Again, if I probably wasn't on camera, I would have done this faster because cameras make me nervous, even though I've been doing this live almost every week for like 3 years now. Okay, so here we go. I'm just gonna pop that on place. Okay, and this is nice and tight across the surface. And let's move it over. Oh, there we are. Let's move it over to our mug press. So I'm gonna wait for the camera to get set up so you guys can see all the action right here. This is the HPN Signature Series Sublimation Mug Press, and I'm using the stock sleeve, or heating element as it's called. When I say sleeve, there's like a little sleeve. It's like a little sleeve that grips the mug. Anyways, this is the stock one that comes with every HPN Signature Series mug press. It fits 11-ounce mugs, which are these little shorter ones. It fits the 15-ounce mugs, which I don't have here, but they're a little bit bigger. And it also fits these really cool travel mugs and a bunch of other mugs and mug sizes. So it's really cool. My time is at 385 degrees, and I'm at about 75. I'm at 75 seconds. You want to be within 60 and 90 seconds for these stainless steel sublimation thermal mugs. And the reason why there's such a variance is because it depends on the room temperature. I've been handling this mug, so it got a little warm. But when I first pulled it out today, it was cold as heck up here. So the room temperature, it hit like 49 degrees last night. So the room temperature was like in the low 50s this morning. So if I were to put a really cold mug straight into the mug press, it'll need more time to heat up. I've been handling it a little bit, so it's warmed up in here a little bit. So I'm comfortable putting it in at 75 seconds, and we're gonna see how this goes. Enough of me talking. I'm done talking. All right, we're gonna press this, then I'll pause for some Q&A. Now what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna put it right in there. And as you close it, you wanna make sure that the handle stays centered. You don't want the handle touching either edge. Once it's in there we go. Looks like we got a nice grip on it. And the clock is ticking. I'm gonna take this time to say what's up to everybody. Yes, we got 100 people watching, and thank you guys so much for tagging your friends, for everybody tuning in. You guys know what happens when we hit 100 people. We gotta give something away. So everybody who tagged a friend in the comments, you're automatically entered to win a $50 Heat Press Nation gift card. So yeah, if you wanna enter, please feel free, keep tagging your friends. We're so glad everybody is here tuning in, watching our top 3 picks for Valentine's Day gifts that you can heat press. We just did these really cool two-sided sublimation keychains. I just pressed 2 of those. This one says, I love you. It's so cute. Got about 20 seconds left. We're pressing an insulated thermal mug right now, and then I'm gonna reveal pick number 3 in just a moment. If you guys have any questions about my process or what the heck we're doing here, please feel free to drop it in the comments. Ooh, sorry, Lourdes is saying that she's from Anaheim, which is the next city over. Do we have a drive-up option to pick up merchandise? Unfortunately not. Due to the pandemic, we are temporarily closed to the public. Okay, and more on that in a second. Don't breathe in those fumes. By the way, sawgrass ink is non-toxic, but it's just not fun to breathe it in. So take that for whatever you want. Like, I'm not gonna die because I accidentally breathed some in, but it's just not fun. Anyways, so we're gonna let that air out for a second. You don't wanna wait too long. And here's where it's really good that I had the tabs, because I'm gonna wait for camera 2, because I'm gonna hold this up to camera 2. And then we're going to, there we go, so you guys can see it, all right? Almost. And by the way, I'm gonna turn this one off while we wait and turn this one back on. I'm on 2, awesome. So give me just a second. I'm trying to do 2 things at once. This is I don't know if this is a smart move or a dumb move. Probably a dumb one. So I'm gonna let this cool off for just a second while I adjust the heat on this one. All right, let's peel it. So you remember that little tab that I made? It's right here. If you didn't have that, you're just gonna be like scratching away, and this sucker is hot, all right? So I'm gonna peel it like this, and then boom. There we go. That looks great. I'm actually gonna come around and show you guys, because the stainless steel background, now remember, sublimation printers, they don't print, I'm coming around, I promise. They don't print white ink. So instead of having a white background, it has this really cool metallic aluminum, and Alex is gonna help me pull focus there. There we go. So it looks really cool. This looks, honestly, the camera doesn't, should I go back a little bit? Yeah. The camera's not really doing it justice. Like, it looks so cool in real life. It's just the studio lighting on here. I'm gonna try my best to not, oh, here we go. I'll handle it by right here. So now this graphic says, you could just say it out loud. Where are we going? Oh, camera 1, there we go. Okay, let me move over to camera 1. Sorry, camera 1's coming up. This one's gonna look better. There we go. And this one, of course, says, and we're gonna catch that right now. It says, I love you to the moon and back, but it's really cool. It has kind of like a spacey with some stars on the background. Cool picture of the couple. They're looking fabulous. I think it's like Times Square or something like that. And yeah, trying to capture a reflective surface like this aluminum mug in a studio is actually harder than I thought. There we go. I love you to the moon and back. So anyway, so you could put these cool graphics on these, geez, that was dumb. Okay. You can put these cool graphics on these mugs, and it's cool, it's new, it's different, and it's amazing. So this is my second pick for great, I'm gonna come back around. This is my second pick for great Valentine's Day gifts. These stainless steel aluminum thermal mugs is gonna keep your loved one's drinks nice and hot or nice and cold for hours. And it looks great. Looks super cool. And you can put whatever you want on them. You know, it's Valentine's Day, so we're putting, you know, something cute. I love you to the moon and back, you know, couple's picture. You could really put whatever you want. Maybe your significant other is really into their corgi. People who get corgis love their corgis. Like, I think corgis are cute, but like people who get corgis love their corgis. You can put their dog on there or something like that. You know, it doesn't have to be super cheesy, or I don't know, the cheesier the better. Do whatever the heck you want, guys. So, okay, it's a little bit better. I could put this back in. Okay, so there we go. That's number 2. Really quick, before I get to number 3, let's see what's going on, everybody. Any other questions? Laura's asking, are the Sawgrass printers in stock yet? That is a great question. I will have to answer you after the broadcast because I don't know off the top of my head. How much for the press? That is also a great question. This is the HPN Craft Pro 13-inch by 9-inch with a slide-out lower platen. I believe this one goes for around $369, but please don't quote me. You can go to our website, heatpressnation.com. This is available in pink, mint, and the original, which is like a gray color. Very, very cool heat press. Very, very capable. I'm a big fan of the Craft Pro. And then, or if you're asking about this one is also in the mid to high 300s, I want to say, but you can check it out at heatpressnation.com. I've been out of sales for a little while, so sometimes the exact prices do escape my mind for a second, but all of this is available at heatpressnation.com. You can get these cool, this is my number one pick, you can get these cool keychains. I think they come in a pack of like 5 or 7. You can get those at heatpressnation.com. You can get these Sublimation thermal cups at heatpressnation.com. This press, heat tape, tape dispenser, all of it at heatpressnation.com. So this mug press, Patricia Cunningham is asking, does the mug press do all sizes or only one size cup? This one is gonna, ooh, that's still hot. This one's gonna come with a, we call it the stock insert, or it's called a heating element. I call it a sleeve because it looks like a little sleeve. And this will fit 11-ounce mugs, which are this smaller size. I don't have a 15-ounce on me, but it's a slightly larger mug. It also will handle these thermal mugs, and then I have a couple. Oh, these are really dope. This was from our Christmas collection. These frosted beer steins. These are hot for Father's Day. I know it's a little bit of ways away. And in fact, you could probably do something cool for Valentine's with these. These are like really cool all year long, to be totally honest. It'll do those ones. The only thing, it also, you have additional options available. Tapered mugs, and I'll just grab one because I'm here. And if you see me hobbling a little bit, it's because I did something dumb for a 30 or 2-year-old. I went skating like a moron. There's a separate sleeve available for the tapered mugs, and then some for water bottles, which I don't see a water bottle around here. But anyways, we got different sized sleeves available. All of them are compatible with this mug press. You can check out our website, heatpressnation.com, for more info. Okay, any other questions? I'm going here through questions. Can you do wine tumblers on that mug press? I believe you're talking about like the insulated little, looks like almost like a teardrop shaped little wine tumbler. You can't do them very well on this. And that's just because they're funky shaped. They're not really designed to be heat pressed. Those are designed for a heat shrink sleeve, which we don't carry. But I have seen someone heat press, and they were able to press like a little logo size little section on there. And if that's what you're into, sure. Oh, great question. Yvette is asking, if we tag more than once, do we get entered multiple times? Yes. Just tag a new person in a new comment. So for every comment with a tag, that's an entry. Again, we hit over 100 viewers today, so we're going to be giving some stuff away. We have a $50 Heat Press Nation gift card for you, well, one of you guys. All you got to do is tag a friend in the comments below to be entered to win. We're going to draw the winner this Friday, and it'll be posted, in our Heat Press Nation creators group. This is the first time, Alex, I've gone so long without plugging the group. Do me a favor, go to heat.press/FB group, and I think it's on the screen right now. This is our Heat Press Nation creators group. This group, honestly, is awesome. So many great and helpful people there for all your questions. Now, we have a ton of questions that have already been answered, so if you're new in the group, hit that search bar. That search bar is gold. It's gold because all of the big questions that all of us, and I say us, I'm putting myself in there, all of us heat pressers ask, it's all in there. So where do I buy my t-shirts? Where do I buy my hoodies? Hey, how do I do this on my white toner laser? Like, dude, seriously, all the good questions have already been asked, most of them anyways. And if you have a new question, put it up in the group. That's what we're there for. The Heat Press Nation creators group. Once again, heat.press/FB group. It's gonna take you right over to our Facebook group. Okay, lots of cool comments. I see everybody tagging their friends. I love it. Really quick, let me hop on over to YouTube and see what all of our YouTube friends are doing. Cool, yeah, Evelyn's agreeing. She's saying the print on aluminum is awesome. I kind of answered this when she's asking, can tapered tumblers be done on that press? So we do have tapered mugs like this. There is a sleeve available, and I say sleeve, is a heating element available for this. We have the 12-ounce latte. We say latte for the tapered is a 12-ounce short tapered, and then a 17-ounce large tapered. So there's two. Odds are very high that one of them is gonna fit something like this. But if you have the really, really small tapered items, they may or may not fit. So just be sure to double check, measure them. But yeah, we do have those available for this heat press, again, signature series. Sublimation mug press. Can it do glass? Arlisha is saying yes. So this will do, like this is glass right here. This is a frosted glass Sublimation Stein, and I press this right here. And yeah, so it can do glass, but they have to be, all the glass that you use has to be coated for sublimation. You can't just go, and this is true of mugs or whatever, you can't just go to, unfortunately, you can't go to Dollar Tree and just pick a random glass or a mug off the shelf. They have to be specially made for sublimation. On our website, heatpressnation.com, we have tons of sublimation blanks that are ready to go, like you just saw today. Like this mug has been specially coated to receive the sublimation ink transfer. So all you do, as you saw me today, I just taped the transfer to it, heat pressed it, and boom, this is 100% permanent and wash proof. It's ready to roll. Okay, let's see. Any other questions we got here? Oh, but let's see. Oh, it's a great question. Nicola's asking, what paper am I using for the SG500 prints? Today I used Jet Cold DHS. It's a new paper from Nina, which makes my favorite heat transfer paper for like inkjet printers. That's different, totally different. But yeah, it was Nina Jet Cold DHS. Just look up DHS on our website or under the sublimation paper page. I really like it. I like it a lot actually. So for my hard substrates, it's been doing pretty good. King J is asking, do you need special ink to do sublimation? That is a great question, and we have lots of sublimation videos on our YouTube channel, but in short, yes, you do. What we didn't show today was when I printed these up. I printed these on my Sawgrass SG500, and that's what I use for all my prints today. It's what I use for all my prints like all the time, and it's a great sublimation printer. We have them available at Heat Press Nation. Someone asked about stock levels. I'm not 100% sure, but if you want to pre-order one, or just get one, you can call us at 800-215-0894. Charlene is asking, what is the key ring made from? Oh, I totally forgot about that. Yes. So the keychains, they do come, when you buy them from Heat Press Nation, they do come with these key rings that you could choose to use or not. I thank you for reminding me. It's this little plastic thing. So you have the regular little key ring right there. You put it on. And this, like, dude, this is actually a really solid clasp, and then you just like pinch it, right? And that stays on there like 5 ever, more than 4 ever. It's 5 ever. Yeah, it's super duper durable. I mean, like, I don't know, like if it's not gonna like stand if you're like your dog like chews it off or something. I don't know, but yeah, very very durable. Or it just has the regular hole. If you want to put your key ring like straight on it, go for it. Just be careful that you don't scratch up this little edge when you do that. But these are made of a special plastic. So these are plastic. So they're very durable. You can bang them around. They can be on your keychain, float around for a really long time, and they're not gonna get messed up. And by the way, we also have, these are hearts, but we also have other shaped keychains. We have like some long rectangles. We have some circles. I probably took them somewhere else. But we have lots of different shapes available. So you definitely wanna check that out at heatpressnation.com. Yes, I could repeat the temp and time of my press. So this one was 385 degrees for 75 seconds. And that was for this one. It's kind of a cool room. I think if it would have been a warmer day, I probably would have dropped it to 60 and gotten away with it. This one, I had it set to 385 degrees for 60 seconds. In hindsight, I could have added a little time to get a slightly better press on the backside. So if you're gonna do both sides of these, you probably wanna do 385 for about 80 seconds, 90 seconds. Or if you really want to like be thorough, you could drop your temp to like 365 and then just up your time to like 90 seconds. Experiment with it, have some fun. That's what I suggest. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna get into my last thing, very last thing, and actually let me adjust my time really quick. There we go. It's still at 60 seconds and we can't have that, can we? So the very last thing I want to show you guys today is Old Faithful, and it's gonna be a t-shirt, all right? And you might think, oh, we make so many t-shirts. All right, well, this is where you got to get clever. T-shirts are cool for a great reason. Everybody loves them, everybody wears them. And as I mentioned earlier, if you're making t-shirts for like a guy, Might not want a full 11 by 17. Oh, this graphic is like 11 by 17. It's gigantic, right? Actually, it might be bigger. I think it's 12 by, anyway. A guy might not want like a big full portrait of like him and his girl or the couple or whoever, like, you might not want that on your t-shirt. All right, whatever, right? Everybody's different, to each their own. But maybe you still want to make a cool gift for your significant other. If you're making it for a guy, you got to be a little bit more subtle, right? And what dude does not love space stuff? So this is a cool graphic. It says it's just a picture of the moon, and it just says under it, and back. Because people, they say, oh, I love you to the moon and back, to the moon and back. If you and your significant other have a really clever saying like, oh, baby, you're my star, my moon and stars, whatever, then just put like a cool, like go to Shutterstock, go to the Silhouette store, and find a cool download of like moon and stars, or design it yourself. Hand draw. We've done tutorials. If you go to our YouTube channel, we've done tutorials how to turn a hand-drawn image into a vector graphic that you can cut and put on a shirt. So if you have cool, get unique with it. I'm telling you guys. I know you're creative. You guys got some crazy creativity, and I know because I've seen it in the Facebook group and on the hashtag HPN Creators, by the way. So I know you guys can do it. So if you and your significant other have like a cool little saying between you guys, inside jokes, drop it on a t-shirt. So even though that shirt, they're gonna wear it everywhere, like only you guys are gonna know what's up. So anyways, I'm gonna come around, I'm gonna show you how easy it is to make a cool t-shirt. Now this one I did weed off table. If you look really close, there's like a million little things to weed on this one. And it took me forever. So here's how easy it is. Oh, and by the way, let me just check pressure really quick. Okay, I need to increase pressure just a hair. There we go. Okay. So I have my lower platen here. This is 13 by 9. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop my t-shirt on. And will this fit? Is my graphic too big? Yep, so I'm gonna hit this in 2 different pieces. Wait. No, it'll fit this way. Okay. So here's what you can do. Even if you have a smaller heat press, again, this is a 13 by 9, so this is gonna be on the smaller side. It's great for kids' t-shirts. And even some adult shirts, you could still fit. So this is an adult medium, and we were putting graphic. I actually had a post, I think on Instagram a while back. I pressed one of my shirts. I wear an adult XXX, and I pressed one on a little 13 by 9 craft pro just to prove that it could be done. So here's what you're gonna wanna do. You're gonna wanna center your t-shirt on the heat press, and what I'm doing is I'm using the collar as kind of my reference point for where center is. So I know it's about this far apart on each side. By the way, I just did a webinar. If you're wondering, how do I know how to place and align my transfers? Just did a webinar on it this last week. I think I did it on Friday. So you can tune in for that. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pull directly back, right? Give myself some slack here. Let's reposition that. I'm gonna pull directly back. And we should be centered. Another way that you could center is you could just grab it here, and then what you don't see is my hand underneath the table. I'm just gonna put it up against and see about how far it comes out. You could do that on the other side, but I'm pretty good about doing this. Last thing I'll say is you could also align it on the table over here and then just move it. In fact, I'll show you guys how to do that really quick. Can you see the table? You can see the table. Yep. You can see the table. So, another thing that you could do is if you're working with a smaller area like this, you fold this in half, by the way, so that way the edges of your transfer line up. And then you just pinch it at the top and pinch it at the bottom, and now you have a little center mark. It's a little trick for you guys. So what I'll do is I'll align this with the center. I'll go about 3 fingers down to the top of the transfer. And I'm just gonna look at this here, make sure it looks good. I'm eyeballing here. But if you guys watch the webinar, you'll see how to use a T-square it. And that'll show you how to make sure everything is lined up. So if you have a small heat press like this and trying to align things on the lower platen, is a little too cumbersome, or maybe you have a press that doesn't have the slide out drawer and you're like kind of tired of reaching in and burning your knuckles, you could, if you're using heat transfer vinyl, you could align it on a table next to your press and then just kind of like mash it down, because the plastic carrier is sticky. So you could pick it up, and as long as you're careful with it, you could move it over and it's not really gonna shift. And so it'll stay in place, so you can press it. That easy. There we go. I have a pro-grade non-stick sheet, aka a Teflon sheet somewhere, but since the parchment paper is on hand, I'm just gonna use that. We're gonna slide this back in. I got about a medium firm pressure on here, and I'm using Caesar Easy Weed, by the way, 305 degrees for about 10 to 15 seconds. I'm gonna do 10 seconds because I know I have good pressure, and I have, is this all the way in? Yep. I have good pressure and I have a good heat press, so I'm very confident in, oh, there we go, in my time. 10 seconds just like that. We're gonna lift this up. Caesar Easy Weed is a warm or cold peel. I like to peel it warm. And look at that. Is that on camera? They can see that, right? So I'm gonna hold this up so you guys can see it a little bit better. So check out this t-shirt. This looks really cool. It's just a moon, but it says "and back." So for those of you guys, and we're gonna switch to camera 1 here. There we go. To the moon and back. And yes, this took forever to weed. Lots of little details in there. Super annoying, but it's okay. It's worth it for this shirt. I'm gonna come back around. And this is number 3. So even though t-shirts, yes, you've done them. We've all done a million t-shirts. As long as you're creative, they could still be something really cool and really meaningful. And maybe it's not a t-shirt. It's cold in a lot of places. Maybe you want to make them a hoodie, a sweater. You want to put this on some sweatpants. Dude, you guys have access to all that stuff. As long as you got a heat press and vinyl cutter, you are in. So to recap today, and then I'm going to go back to the comments. Here are my 3 picks for top Valentine's Day gifts that you can make with your heat press equipment. My first one are these cool keychains. They're double-sided, so they're very cool. Keychains, these are subtle, all right? They're cool, or they're like a nice addition. Like maybe you're gonna make somebody, you can even make these in a series, like offer a package. So keychains were my first one. Then I have this really cool Sublimation stainless steel Sublimation thermal cup, thermal mug. It's gonna keep your drinks hot or cold for hours, and this just goes in like that. Keeps everything nice. I actually have one of these myself. I made one for my brother for Christmas. I didn't put to the moon and back. I did something else. Yeah, and it's really cool, and he loved it, by the way. Super cool. And then lastly, we have, of course, the Old Faithful, the t-shirt, which don't underestimate how much people love a cool t-shirt, especially if it's something thoughtful and something creative. All right, to the moon and back, or it just says moon and back. Very cool, very subtle. All right, I'm gonna take your questions. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. I'm gonna try to get to as many as I can. I'm kind of on a time limit. I know you guys got places to go, people to see. And don't forget, you still have time. You actually have until Thursday night. If you wanna tag people in the comments, please feel free to do so. We're gonna pick one winner for a $50 HPN gift card. And that's our way of saying thank you. We hit like 100 viewers today. Plus, I think we got over 100 on YouTube as well. So you know what? Let's make it dose. Gonna give away 2 $50 HPN gift cards. Thank you so much, everybody. The brilliant Mr. Pedro, why did YouTube send me here? Maybe they wanted you to check out some heat press stuff, or because you need Valentine's Day gift ideas. All right. Let's see if we have any questions here. Paul Reed's asking, can vinyl be pressed on a mug? We do not recommend pressing heat transfer vinyl, which is what we use for this t-shirt right here. That's meant for garments. If you want to customize a mug, like this cool Mother's Day mug that I made a little while back, or like this, you're gonna want a sublimation printer. We have lots of videos on sublimation on our YouTube channel, which you're already on, so you're already at the right place. Alicia's asking, what's the best vinyl cutter? Oh, dude, what a loaded question. Honestly, it depends on your budget. We actually have a vinyl cutter's buyer's guide, vinyl cutter buyer's guide, here on our YouTube channel that you can check out. I highly recommend it. It'll kind of give you an overview of why there are different vinyl cutters at different price points and what they each do. But you know, yeah, if you want to know the best, just get a Graphtec CE 7000 series. You're gonna drop close to $2,000, but I mean, if you want to know the best, well, that's the best. Okay. All right, let's head over to Facebook. I am running low on time and high on words, which is a very, very bad place to be, I'll tell you. Okay. Ashley Nicole's asking, how does the creators contest work? All you got to do is just tag a friend in the comments below, and then we're going to randomly select one of the comments on Friday. So you have until Thursday night to add some people in the comments below. The link to my template, remind me to get back to that. So I actually have a video that shows how to create your own Photoshop template. So this mug, I don't have a template for this. What I did before the show was I took some measurements and then I just made a template and it fit perfectly. And so if you want to know how you can make a template perfectly for just about anything, I'm going to put a link in the comments a little bit later after the broadcast. And it's going to link to that Photoshop tutorial on how to do that. Also, if you have a Sawgrass printer, go over to Creative Studio, sawgrassinc.com, click on Creative Studio, and they have tons of templates for a lot of the most popular sublimation products out there, and it's free. So if you have a Sawgrass printer, sign up for your free account, sawgrassinc.com, and that's sawgrassinc.com, and then you can go over to Creative Studio, tons of, oh my gosh, so much free stuff over there, free backgrounds, free graphics, free fonts, free stock images and illustrations. Like, dude, so much free stuff for all you Sawgrass users. Okay, I got time for one more question, then we're gonna get on out of here. Could you heat press onto a colored Yeti? No. So, and that's gonna be the last question for today. So colored Yetis, they're not coated for sublimation. Everything you see up here, these are all specially coated at a factory level. So when they're being manufactured, they're coated on the production line with the sublimation coating, which allows them, and you know, if you rewind a little bit, you'll see my printout, I just taped it to the mug and heat pressed it and boom. Same thing for these keychains. These are specially coated in order to receive the sublimation transfer. So unfortunately, you can't just go to Dollar Tree and get any, keychain or get any mug. They have to be coated for sublimation. For garments, if you're going to sublimate a garment, 100% polyester is preferred, but you could go all the way down to about 65% polyester and still have a decent result. Once you go to 50-50, they wash out a little soft. They have a vintage look. It's not terrible, but it's not going to be like high quality resolution. So, that's up to you. But yeah, 100% polyester or specially coated items. And of course, if you're looking for sublimation blanks that are specially coated, head on over to heatpressnation.com. We have a huge selection of sublimation blanks. I'm totally out of time. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to tag a friend in the comments below. Winners will be, and I said winners too, plural, winners will be announced this Friday in the Heat Press Nation Creators Group. So be sure to join our group. Once again, that is heat.press/FB group. It's going to take you straight to our Facebook group. It's going to do it for me, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week.